Welcome once again to the online training on cross-border e-commerce for SMEs export, opportunities, challenges, and policy implications. This is the fourth of 6 topics. The topic of this presentation is cross-border e-commerce and digital economy, case of China for policy or regulation implications, and is being prepared by Tengfei Wang, Jiang Wang, Kaian Li, and L.A. Carpenter, in conjunction with other SCAP projects regarding cross-border e-commerce. When we talk about cross-border e-commerce, inevitably we may need to mention the names of specific companies to serve as examples. However, it's important to point out that the mention of firm names and commercial products does not imply the endorsement of the United Nations. This applies to all training modules. By the end of this module, learners should be able to outline the key challenges for global market rules and understand the policies and regulations of China for promoting e-commerce and the digital economy. The surge in global cross-border e-commerce has opened up new opportunities for SMEs to participate in international trade, reshaping the global market landscape. However, online transactions have also introduced new challenges to digital trade rules. Recognizing these changes, Alibaba's Jack Ma proposed the concept of the EWTP, or Electronic World Trade Platform, in 2016, envisioning a future market structure comprising of third-party platforms and numerous MSMEs. The platform would assume certain public functions, empowering SMEs to engage in global trade through cooperation with governments, potentially leading to new trade rule innovations. As cross-border data flows have become crucial for global trade, data and related rights, including cross-border data flows themselves, have emerged as focal points in discussions in new trade rules. Differing data flow restrictions across countries can significantly impact international trade. Another data-related rule pertains to data privacy, as cross-border e-commerce involves collecting and storing consumers' personal data online, thus necessitating robust protection mechanisms. The WTO has also faced challenges in adapting to the digital trade and cross-border e-commerce landscape, as the boundaries between goods and services have blurred, which makes it difficult to reach agreements under the existing multilateral system. China's e-commerce ecosystem, having developed over 20 years, has witnessed a process of mutual adjustment between corporate innovation and government regulations, culminating their first e-commerce law in this regard in 2018, marking a stage of standardized development with strong protection for e-commerce companies and online consumers. Governments and international organizations are continuously adjusting e-commerce and cross-border e-commerce policies, summarizing business practices, and introducing supportive measures. For instance, the World Customs Organization issued the Cross-Border E-commerce Standards Framework, while China introduced cross-border e-commerce pilot city policies and comprehensive pilot zones to foster innovation and improve regulation in the sector. Cross-border e-commerce, typically understood as direct online sales to overseas customers or business-to-customer, is also rapidly evolving to the business-to-business domain. This poses challenges for customs authorities in comprehensively and accurately measuring cross-border e-commerce trade volumes. Chinese customs have introduced new supervision codes for B2B cross-border e-commerce, providing streamlined clearance measures for SMEs. These developments highlight the new changes cross-border e-commerce has brought to the global market. In the digital economy's new market structure, third-party platforms play an increasingly pivotal role, with growing collaboration between private platform sectors and the public government sector. Governing these third-party platforms within this new market structure poses a challenge to global trade rules. While the WTO promotes inclusivity, global trade rules should further support the development of SMEs. However, adjusting rules to ensure easy SME participation in global trade remains an ongoing exploration. Development of cross-border e-commerce is influenced by national conditions and government considerations. China's e-commerce evolution offers policy insights. Traditional companies struggle to adapt quickly, while marginalized groups like young people readily embrace new internet business practices. Without legacy burdens, young entrepreneurs proactively try novel trade models. To promote cross-border e-commerce, local governments support young entrepreneurs with innovation spaces, entrepreneurship parks, and even free office incubators. They encourage industry association for knowledge sharing, as cutting-edge practices are often absent from university curricula. These associations facilitate communication between enterprises, government, and industry professionals. Cross-border e-commerce platforms and companies also organize forums, seminars, and sharing sessions for rapid knowledge dissemination. Governments encourage university-industry partnerships for joint talent development, bridging practical knowledge with academic curricula. Additionally, China has launched demonstration projects, including e-commerce enterprises, parks, and pilot zones for policy experimentation. These initiatives promote innovation and policy adjustments in cross-border e-commerce. Regulatory bodies have introduced the e-commerce law and the related policies, encouraging local government enterprise cooperation and leveraging information technology for integrated public service platforms. These platforms provide convenient conditions for SMEs to participate in cross-border e-commerce. Here we will explain two important policies implemented by the Chinese government in cross-border e-commerce. Firstly, the Cross-Border E-commerce Pilot City Policy of 2012. This policy, launched in Zhengzhou, was created to address the influx of overseas product purchases by Chinese consumers. It allows foreign SMEs to open stores on Chinese e-commerce platforms and ship goods to bonded warehouses in designated pilot cities. After purchase, products are delivered from these warehouses to consumers in China. This online retail bonded stocking model provides tax benefits and has now expanded to over 86 cities. Secondly, the Cross-Border E-commerce Comprehensive Pilot Zones of 2016, initially established in Hangzhou and now spanning 165 cities. This policy encourages local governments to build platforms and offer favorable conditions for domestic SMEs to participate in cross-border e-commerce. It facilitates trade by allowing policy adjustments based on enterprise innovations and provides a supervised channel for cross-border e-commerce activities. These policies have significantly boosted China's cross-border e-commerce development, enabling both foreign and domestic businesses to tap into Chinese market or benefiting consumers through increased access to overseas products. Digitalization has revolutionized business models, with third-party platforms empowering SMEs in cross-border e-commerce. The digital economy is, in essence, the platform economy, and platforms' practical innovation significantly impact digital trade policies and rules. Cross-border e-commerce is not merely about online cross-border transactions. It has formed a new global trade format, triggering regulatory and policy adjustments. Ensuring cross-border e-commerce operates in a safe, trustworthy, and compliant environment involves internet application governance, cross-border platform regulation, mutual product certification, and harmonized information systems. Facilitating cross-border e-commerce trade requires regulatory coordination, mutual connections, policy feasibility anticipation, and compliance policy consistency across countries. Exploring public-private partnerships, or PPPs, between platforms and governments is crucial. Establishing a compliance framework involves customs taxation, low-value goods tax exemptions, and administrative supervision procedures. Protecting consumer privacy, implementing global consumer protection, and regulating cross-border data flows necessitates cross-border coordination and cooperation. In essence, cross-border e-commerce is a new trade form emerging from global market transformations driven by information network technology, presenting opportunities for policy improvement and necessitating a suitable regulatory environment. Thank you for your attention. For further information, please refer to these reports prepared by ESCAP. For any further inquiries, please contact escap-tiid@un.org. We're keen to improve this training. Therefore, if you have any suggestions or feedback, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you again.